Everybody that's on that one that was scheduled to go to this one, we just went live. Okay.
Where are we going?
I don't know how we got to get a little closer. Yeah.
Yeah, camera angles, everything. Huh?
The table's too big.
I mean, the table's too big.
I have no idea.
Why don't you put it up there with Noah?
No.
The big slur's not in it.
Pull the table.
Pull the table closer. All right. Well, hey, this will give us a minute. There's no one watching us right now. How about this? Yeah, tell them to go. Where to go?
Oh, you got
Josh isn't even in this.
Just
Yeah.
put an angle over here, and then
Dave slide around.
there we go. Come on over here, Dave.
Come on, Dave, get in that picture.
Oh man, what about the COVID and stuff? Oh, we shouldn't make
One of
jokes
these
about
chairs
that.
has a protective thing.
I took
All right,
it off.
are we good?
I think it's working.
Are we working now?
Wow,
18 people.
Holy goodness!
we've been doing this for 10 years, and we still can't figure out a live feed.
Well, I don't think you've ever done a live feed, have you?
Yeah,
Yeah?
we've done quite a few. I just
With the phone like this? Then why would we have such a hard time?
because I never had to do it. Smarter people than me did it.
Oh wow! Well, it looks like we have a decent
Yeah.
a decent picture right there. We'll let everybody kind of come around that way they can. I know they're probably on the other.
Where's this at so I can? Tap
It's
in?
on the FTCA right there. Plan B. That's it.
Plan B. Oh, there it goes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Now I can watch this stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might want to turn the sound down because we get. Oh, what? More. All right, hey, everybody that is tuning in, I'm Lee, and this is
Josh.
and this is
David.
David. All right, so we wanted to do a little bit of a kind of a sit-down Q&A, just a get to know everybody and.
We've made a lot of comments in the past saying there's lots of announcements coming up. There's a lot of things happening almost quicker than what we can announce them. So this is a really good time to really just unpack a lot of it and also answer questions.
Yeah, answer a lot of questions. We got a list of things that we would like to just to talk about, and as we're going through here, we've got our wives in the background, and our kids. Some of our kids in
We
the
should
background.
really be in the background. They should be in the front. They're cooler.
Well, they're definitely a lot better looking than we are.
Yes, they are.
But if you have questions as we're going through this about things that are specific to flight test or Edgewater or the FTCA, throw those questions up there. We'll try to answer as many as we can,
Yeah.
as long as they are not questions about crazy things.
Yeah. One thing we should probably start with is, really quickly, we had Lee come into our lives, and it's not been a recent thing for you and I. There's been a long relationship.
Long relationship,
But
yeah.
we have not gotten to really formally introduce Lee to the flight test community, FTCA, all that stuff. So why don't we just kind of, while people are compiling, just give a little background.
Hi, I'm Lee.
Yeah. All right. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, no. So that's one of the things that we're going to do in the future. We're going to be kind of breaking down and rolling back the clock a little bit in a podcast in which we're going to be doing. But a little bit about me. Josh and I and our families have been friends for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I was with Flight Test back in 14, 15.
Yes.
And did some work back in.
You actually helped launch them.
Yeah, it was back. It was FT Connections.
Yes.
It was what we started doing. So this is kind of fast forward. We got
Josh needs to talk about it.
Josh needs to talk louder.
And the first question is, what is the FTCA?
Okay. Oh,
I like that. Okay. I'll try to project more.
project from your diaphragm.
I'm a very soft-spoken guy.
It's all right. All right. So the FTCA, great question. The FTCA is the Flight Test Community Association. There's a lot of buzz and everything going on out there about how the FAA is making all these rules and these regulations coming down, and everybody thinks that these community-based organizations need to be formed so we can do all this stuff. Well, yes, but that's not the reason why the FTCA exists. The FTCA exists because there's a community of people who come together in the hobby, the enthusiasts in the hobby, just love the airplanes, but really love the people more.
Yeah.
And we want to identify them and speak up for them.
Yeah, from the very beginning, Flight Test was using we loved aviation, we love people more, as Lee said, but also aviation is a tool for us to connect with people and hopefully do something positive in people's lives. The FTCA was founded to not only protect the hobby, but as you're going to see very soon, it's to bring hope to the hobby.
Yes.
And that's to use the hobby as a tool and also to equip the people from the FTCA.
Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, keep going. He's a very strong guy. Our goal with the FTCA is very simple. Yes, we want to protect the hobby, but we want to teach other people and help them utilize the hobby as a tool to impact people positively.
Yep.
A lot of other organizations, celebrate excellence and how good you fly. We want to celebrate and equip people to do positive things. And the FTC is going to be doing that. We want to be able to take all of our amazing subscribers, all of our amazing community members, and give them the ability to form flying groups, to form flying fields, to be able to train people how to fly, grow the hobby, and hopefully change lives and connect families.
Yeah, speaking about changing lives and everything, I'm Dave right here. You guys, you've been on the flight test road for quite some time, right?
Yeah, been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's a great community, and
Yeah.
I love the fact that we're trying to unite it better.
Yeah.
Just make it into something better.
Yeah. Yeah, and lives can be changed. I mean, stupid foam board airplanes, that's what we've always talked about. And it's amazing what they can do. And I always like to tell people that I get questions when we're out here flying at Edgewater or whatever about, hey, can you help me with this plane or can you help me do this? I'll tell everybody right now, I was not hired onto the flight test team to fly.
Although you can.
If I had to in a pinch, but I don't know anything about that. I'm here for the community aspect, and hopefully we can, that we can come together and build more community around these foam airplanes. So if I look at you like I have a dumb look on my face, it's not because you're dumb. It's because I'm ignorant of probably what it is you're asking me about, some servo or something.
Well, a little backstory too about that. Back when the Kraken was designed, the Baby Blender, all these early planes, Lee was in my life. We were doing flying ministry, and he was the one that really honed how to basically use the model aviation as a way to help people build memories, help people connect. So when you hear me talk about fellowship, when you hear me talk about making a memory and stuff, it was this gentleman to my left here that really gave me the tools to be able to communicate that articulately, but also make it efficient. With the FTCA, we want to be able to share those tools openly and unapologetically. When you do a YouTube video, you can't sit down for 10 minutes. You can't sit down for a half hour and teach people how to instruct others to train people. You can't teach people how to bring this into a school. You can't teach people how to bring it into a church or into a program where people can come and they can build together and they can fly together. We want to make sure the FTCA gives you guys those tools
Yes.
to be able to do that. And that's where we really stand apart.
Louder. Turn up your mic. They're asking.
I'm sorry.
Get closer.
So what I was thinking. Why don't you just talk for me?
No, I ain't talking for you. Well,
sorry.
you're going on this sentimental thing about, and
Yes.
no, that's great.
Yes.
I love that, and I appreciate the.
This is where the podcasts are going to be good because they put the microphone inside
Right.
my face,
Yes, and it'll be right here.
literally inside of it. So,
But one of the things that he was giving all the positive things that I brought and helped him with. What he didn't tell you is I was the crash test dummy. We'll get into stories later on, but there's been times where he brought planes home that he was going to shoot with the next day, and I crashed them. The Dusty being the one, the
Yes.
one.
yeah,
So yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to try to project louder.
Look at that! He done. Woo! There it is. The studio audience agrees.
Thank you.
Outside voice.
Outside, yeah, we were outside.
Just give me half of your voice and I'll be fine.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Well,
So-
very cool. We rabbit trailed a little bit.
That's all right. We're
Great
good.
question, FTCA. We're going to be unpacking that through podcasts, through videos. Obviously, we're advocating for the hobby. We're going to Washington. We're doing so much behind the scenes to make sure the hobby is legally accessible and that people don't have to jump through flaming hoops to do so. So,
Although flying through flaming hoops might be a good episode.
next week's episode.
Yeah. So, any questions coming up here yet?
No, cool.
What?
Nothing, sorry.
No, nothing. No, Noah's getting excited in the background.
Out about camera stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he's geeking out about
This is
camera
why we
stuff.
need the Rode Mic 2s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
TJ says we need to get mics.
Let's see.
yeah, we need
Will we
mics.
be seeing free plans for future FT planes?
Ooh, can I answer that one?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so yes, there will be kind of free plans once we launch the FTCA, and I should say relaunch the FTCA on the 1st of July, which is a week from yesterday. It's coming up real quick. Part of one of the membership classes will be access to the free plans.
They'll be basically perks.
Perks, yeah, part of the perks, rewards, yes, that would be
Yeah.
part of one of the membership classes. And while we're talking about that, there's going to be 3 membership classes, and we're calling them classes for a reason because we don't want a hierarchy to develop or anything like that. We're calling them classes because they're just different. We're going to have the free membership class is going to be called Spectators, and Spectators there will be some perks that come with spectators, but it's going to be smaller, but they'll still be able to be a member of the FTCA. And then the first paid class is going to be what we're calling ground crew. And I love that personally because that's where I'm at. I'm in the ground crew. I don't fly, I stand by. That's my little motto. We'll have the ground crew, and there'll be different perks and rewards and stuff for the ground crew. And then obviously there's going to be the air crew, those who fly, and then there'll be more perks and rewards for that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, but everybody, in a family, when they come out together, everyone's passionate about the activity they're doing together and the way they're connecting. But some people love, helping to keep the planes flying. They love, engaging. We have an amazing group of wives that are so supportive and just warm and friendly, and they keep the heart and the warmth and the approachability to the hobby while we're out there flying in circles. So everyone, I think, in the hobby, it's not necessarily the people that fly, it's the people that really equip others to be able to fly. It's the people that set the culture, set the approachability, help each other. Everyone's important in this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your wife, she's a ground crew member as well.
We call her the den mom on the flight crew.
The den mom,
because
there you go.
She does her best to take care of everybody.
I've seen her running around trying to she's like herding cats sometimes.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we have a quick and easy question.
Quick and easy question. We like this.
Whose sweet bus is in the backdrop?
Oh, the sweet bus.
That would be mine and Nicole's.
Yeah.
That's the flight crew bus.
And it's pretty pimpin'.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Big pimpin' there.
Okay, we do have another one.
Yes?
When will the FTCA be recognized as a CBO?
Yeah, go ahead
You want me to take that one?
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
speak loud.
All
So basically, the CBO recognition advisory circular from the FAA has not been released yet. They will not tell us when it'll be released yet. It could be next month or it could be into 2022. What they are currently saying is follow the safety guidelines of a CBO or soon to be CBO that you like. And that's where we wanted to make sure our ducks were in a row with that we have it. We've been meeting the requirements since 2019. It could be very, very soon, and we will be letting you know. The one thing that we don't want to do with the FTCA is we don't want to wait until the government says, okay, now apply to be an CBO or community-based organization, and then we just rush to do it. What we want to do is establish the foundation, because I don't care whether the government says 2 years from now that you legally got to do this, that, or the other thing in regards to enjoying the hobby. There is a need right now that we need to be able to build community, to build flying sites, to be able to give people the ability to train other people. So why wait for the government to mandate something that's a technicality versus do something that's good for the hobby and good for people?
Yeah.
So that's why we're moving forward with the CBO, building it now with perks and everything, but also to make sure that we can start establishing flying sites before it's a requirement.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope that answers your question. Please, if I didn't answer it well, I'll dig deeper on that because it's really important. But we don't know when. They won't tell us when, but we're ready when it happens. But we do want to make sure that we start doing what the community needs now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the requirements or the perceived requirements that we can kind of draw from talking to other sources and everything, we not only do we meet those requirements right now, we exceed them in some areas. So we're doing the best which we can, trying to over prepare so that when they do drop the hammer, we can be like, okay, this is easy. We can definitely get that.
You can't be a community-based organization without a community, and we are so much better. We're a family.
Oh man, yeah.
And that's the part that I'm excited about. The community needs, whether there's legal requirements or not, the community needs the ability to take action. Back when Flight Test started, I made the comment that said we went from a fan base to a community to a family. Now I want them to see this move into a movement.
Yes.
And a movement is where people are taking everything they're passionate about, which hopefully is the heart of how we impact people, and they move it into action. And this is where the FTCA is really near and dear to my heart, because flight tests can't do that through YouTube shows. It actually needs the community, it needs you guys to be able to get behind that. Says, yeah, I want to make a flying site. Yeah, I want to make a program where we build it evenings and we get pizza and we connect with each other and we help each other. The common activity is simply model aviation, and it's incredible what that does to people's lives once they fall in love with flight. How it goes from a hobby to a lifestyle to a profession. And with so many young kids out there, they need that spark of inspiration. They need that thing to be able to engage with their parents and with their friends that brings those deeper conversations, that brings them successes and failures. So it's just really crucial that we don't wait until the government gives us a green light. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not here to serve the government. We're here to serve you guys.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
So we're not waiting for them, but I'm a little frustrated it's taken as long as it has for them to make it. It's a pretty simple process. It was established in Section 349 2+ years ago. And I don't know why they're dragging their feet, but we're not going to wait for them.
No, we're not. And one of the things that I guess one of the reasons that I was brought on to the team here and everything was I like to stay ahead of things, but I also am a loudmouth, as you guys will see, and I like just to get things done. So I want to be recognized, not by you, but I want to help be recognized by those symposiums and forums and stuff that we go to, not as we're just some little club or something. No, but we're a voice for the hobby. We do it. Like he just said a few minutes ago about hope for the hobby. That's our tagline with the FTCA, bringing hope to the hobby. We want to see this hobby continue. We want to see the lives change. We want to see relationships being built and everything. And we know that that's gonna take some work, and we're excited to do that.
Yeah, and we need you guys for it.
Absolutely. You're the voice. All right, we got a question in the back.
Yes. How does the new test from the AMA affect the hobby, and are there plans for FT to do the tests?
Awesome. I'll start it and you can finish it. All right. So how does it affect the hobby? I think honestly it's a positive thing. There's been some negative talk out there, but there's always going to be I don't want to say Big Brother kept getting their fingers in there, but there's always going to need to be people watching. And if it comes down to where we've got to take a little test to pacify them, to show them that we know what we're doing and we're not just a bunch of hicks out, messing around, we'll do it what's necessary.
Well, yeah, and building off of that, 2+ years ago, 2.5 years ago, we sat at a round table, and the original thing that was on the table is to make everyone that wants to fly recreational take a 107 test. 107 tests are generally about $150. They're way beyond the scope of what most people could just walk in and take, and we fought very hard to make sure we simplified those. Now, it is important. We want to put people first. Safety is important. This test is not so much for the people that can connect on a flying site where you can teach them, because naturally those people are going to learn how to safely operate their airplane, the principles that are needed. But when you can go to Best Buy and you can buy a drone and you think, I think it'd be really cool to go to the end of the runway and get planes taking off and landing, people don't always have a malicious heart. Sometimes they just don't understand the impact negatively it can happen. And even with all the news out there today, it still happens every day. This knowledge-based test is really for them. Now, it's important. As a community, we need to share knowledge. We need to share how people can practice safely. I don't think it's going to negatively impact the hobby. I think we moved the bar incredibly well. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
No, it just hit some lights here. We moved the bar in a much more simple manner to be able to make it approachable, make it free, things like that. That took a lot of work on the back end. I want the government to trust the community-based organizations. I want the government to trust the hobbyists to make the best choices, and they're moving in that direction.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very difficult to get them to not insist on something like a knowledge-based test. All we can do is say, is it important to know what class airspace to fly in, or is it important to know exactly what each class airspace means and what the altitude is? It's an important thing to know which class airspace to fly in and what you can't fly in. It's important to know when you need to get lands and when you shouldn't get lands, or when you don't need lands. It's important to know basic principles of making sure your plane is safe to operate. So we took the bar up here and we put it to where it's approachable, accessible, and easy to follow. If people don't follow the rules mean nothing. So,
yeah, and we, I mean, the I think part of the question was is it accessible through us? And along with what he said, we do have a partnership with the Pilot Institute. What do you guys say? Was there shut the frogs up in the background?
Jeff Poole wants to know if we can remove the frogs so they can finally hear Josh.
Well,
They are permanent residents here.
right. Tell Jeff to come down and help out.
They're squatters. That's
Yeah,
what they
but
are.
the Pilot Institute is our
I love
partner.
them. Oh my God.
Yeah,
yes.
they're the ones that are
Yes.
actually they're trust administrators. They're able to administer the test, and we are partnering with them so that we don't have to go through getting all the stuff on the back end that no one ever sees. The compiling of the information.
Yeah.
And,
It's a great first step. It's a great first step for people now because with partnering with Pilot Institute, first of all, they're amazing people. They're amazing humans. Their knowledge-based learning through aviation, it doesn't just take you for your knowledge-based test for trust or for recreational pilots. Now someone can get in the hobby, they can use that platform, it's free, but then they can go to the 107. Now they can be a professional drone pilot. Then they can move on to the next step in general aviation. They have that whole curriculum laid out. And if you guys hear me much, I want people to make their passion their profession. I want them to, especially the younger kids, I want them to fall in love with the hobby, fall in love with flight, and then become a career pilot, or to become a maintenance crew, or become part of the aviation world. Pilot Institute believes in that too, and
Yeah.
they've shown that. And the work that they put in to make this a reality and make it as exceptional, it's just hard to express. That's dedication and love.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Yeah. Good question.
Any other questions up there?
Are you going to be doing any more FPV races here at Edgewater?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's the only other question
Yeah.
so far.
Okay, that's the only.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's plenty of space here, and we are.
What's his? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a
Paul.
blank. QRGO.
Paul.
Paul. Yeah, Paul Atkins from the QRGO. He's been amazing.
Yeah.
They got a big group of people. Also, guys, Edgewater is a place to serve you. If any of you guys are part of a model club, a lot of people just assume it's closed doors. It's not closed doors. This place is like a Swiss Army knife for you to be able to have your events at. So please, there's an email on the Edgewater Airpark. There's a contact us. Use it. If you
Yep.
want to have an event out here, discus launch gliding, 3D, aerobatic airplanes, whatever you want to do, if we can accommodate you, we want to see that come to Edgewater.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This
Even,
pla-
even just on a personal note, just come hang out with us on the weekends. We're
Yeah.
always down here,
Yeah.
flying, having fun. If you want to bring your family, just come relax and have a good time.
No.
Dave and the flight crew are really a testimony to what we want to see all across the country. The way they engage people, the way they love on it. A lot of times when you go into a club environment, not every place, it's very intimidating. And it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. You're afraid of how will people judge you if you make a mistake. This is positively one of the most warm, friendly places to go, and we can turn people from spectators to pilots in the course of a weekend. And Dave and his crew and Nicole, they're just responsible for bringing that environment here. We want to take what's happening here at Edgewater, and we want to see it all over the country, and small and big. So please, yeah, come on out. Enjoy the events here. If you guys want to have your event out here, it's an open door.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
We're doing something
We have
tomorrow.
another?
We
yeah.
do have.
Oh, yeah.
And they're asking, once I ask the question, if you guys can repeat it because they can't hear me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Will there be any kind of shuttle back and forth during Flight Fest to come see Edgewater?
Okay. So the question was, will there be any shuttle between here and Flight Fest? So between Edgewater and Flight Fest during Flight Fest? The answer is no, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to drive the bus.
We bought a bus 4 years ago during Mudfest, and there's a lot of insurance issues. So I own the bus, but I'm not allowed to drive the bus. What we can do, if we overfill Flight Fest because it's so awesome and so cool, what we'll do is we'll hire a charter bus system.
Right.
We'll use Edgewater here as an overflow, and then we can have a shuttle run back and forth.
Yeah.
So if you really want to have a shuttle, all we have to do is overwhelm Flight Fest this year, and we'll make it happen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we'll use Dave's bus.
What's going to be
It does say not for hire on the door.
Okay.
Next question.
what will be different at Flight Fest this year?
What will be different at Flight Fest this year? Well, let me start, and then we can all kind of go around. One thing that'll be different is that Eddie Black is going to be in charge of all of the volunteers. So this is going to be the first year for Eddie to be in charge of all the volunteers. He's going to be my. I was joking with him. I told him he's going to be my solid number 2. Wink. But no, he is. He's the volunteer coordinator. So that's going to be something that is different. Another big difference is going for me is I'm going to be, my hands are going to be in it. So
Well, there's going to be a lot more STEM programs and stuff this year. Correct?
there you go. Yes.
Going back to the old school stuff.
Yeah.
Teaching people and having fun.
Yeah, in previous years, last 2 years, we had to do away with STEM programs and workshops. Both of them are coming back to Dave's point. First of all, with the STEM, there's a lot of people, the spectators, that come in for the first time. We're using the STEM area to not only educate the kids, but we're also using the STEM area for something called the Easy Experience. That's if you come into the Flight Fest, you really want to fly, but just imagine you're a spectator, you've never bought a single lick of electronics, you don't know anything about it, you're intimidated, you don't want to buy a pilot pass. We have a special flight area where people can build an easy series of gliders. So that's the freighter, the airliner, the Easy 3 starter kit, the space flight, and possibly even the jets by that time. They can go into the STEM tent. There's educational program. It goes right along with that. And then they're out to the flight line and they're flying. They don't need to buy a pilot pass. They don't need to jump through those hoops. They get a great experience basically for under $50.
That's awesome.
And that we want to turn people from spectators into pilots. I think this is a great way to do so. So to Dave's point, yeah, STEM, there's a whole wing of the third tent that's dedicated. I think the biggest area we've ever had for STEM. And then on the other side, there's a workshop area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something else to mention about the whole STEM program and everything. You were saying about people being intimidated. There's no reason to be intimidated at all. Everybody there will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
If you need help, don't hesitate to ask. Somebody there will be more than happy to do so.
That's what breaks my heart. So many times people come in and they have a preconceived notion that people don't want to help. That is the one thing about flight tests. That is, the second people find out you need help, you're going to be swarmed. And that's a really good thing. We're trying to get the lighting situation. Oh, that's cool. Wow,
that's a little bit better.
You're just glowing.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Hey, something else that will be fantastic and different this year is going to impact that lady right there the most. Concrete in the
store.
In the store.
We're turning our store into a storm shelter. No more flooding through the store. So last year or 2 years ago, we built the store, a pole building, for safety and also just to make it easier. There was still a river running through it. So,
This sounds like a book.
Yeah, we got the concrete going in the store, also the apron, so there's an extra area for shelter. Registration will be a little bit easier, and it looks a lot nicer. One thing I'm really excited about, we have a lot of really great people. I can think Dan Sponholz, the great folks from Flex Innovations, and I'm missing other people, but we're going to bring back workshops. Eddie, TJ, quad workshops. I believe Eddie's doing what's Eddie doing, the Arrow? Eddie's doing the Arrow. Basically now, if you want guided learning for an Aura, or you want guided build for a Bloody Baron or a Arrow, I already said Aura.
Aura.
you can get that, and there's going to be scheduled classes. You guys really wanted that back, and we brought it back.
That's
Has
fantastic.
there been any decisions made yet on the quad stuff? Racing and everything?
Well, so we're not having quad. That's a good question. So we're not necessarily having quad races, like what would you say, scheduled or formulated races or anything. But there is going to be an FPV area, and what we're going to do is put up some obstacles where you can race around them and everything. But what we really want to do is get people that want to get into FPV and everything, give them a chance to have an area where they can do that. So. Just kind of freeing up the channels and everything. It's
Making
not
it so everybody can have a turn.
Yeah, I mean, and so we don't. I know that it might seem like well, we don't like the quad guys. No, that's not what we're saying. Oh, we've got light coming.
Oh boy.
All right.
I can't see.
I think we're gonna look like ghosts here in a minute.
I think so. I think you need to
There
turn.
you go.
There you go.
It originally was a really good idea to do this outside.
Oh wow, we're getting. Whoa! Look at that.
I have another question when you guys
that
are
good?
ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Is flight test involved with the FAA
I have a shadow from the phone.
legislation? Are you guys going to go to bat with your large boys for us little guys?
Yes, that's the one of the reasons that we want to make or have the community, so we have the large voice, so we can go up against the other guys with that have 200,000 members that strong in their organization. We want 400 or 500,000 members strong, so we can have a large voice.
And more importantly, we want to see the calling that flight testers always have become a reality, not just here, not just in YouTube world, but also all across the country. The question is are we going to be, working with the FAA? The answer is we've been actually doing that for about 2.5 years. When Section 349 landed, we were immediately in Washington. Just a little bit look back here, we stood at the round table to try to lower the bar from the knowledge-based test from the 107 all the way down to what it is today. And that was a monumental success. We also, with you guys, got to work during the comment period to change the scope of how they looked at remote ID. It's a mixed bag whether we consider it a success or not. The fact is when a mandate like that comes down, you just simply can't say we're not going to do it. It has to be some level. What they landed on is probably one of the best circumstances or the best situations we could have fought for. Tremendous amount of work. I personally have been to Washington 4 different times, and I'm going to be continuing to go back. We spoke at CES, had a major moment in CES. Although it was a trade show and it was, I forget what the name of those events are. We were on a panel with the FAA, and the community or the flight test community was heard. And,
I mean, and even just the other day, the symposium that we had.
Thank you.
Yeah, the symposium we had the other day, and just to hear the response from the FAA representative on the idea of what FTCA stands for and where it was birthed out of out of flight tests and everything. It was really to see their faces. They were kind of astonished, like, oh, we never thought of that. Get the whole family involved in it? Well, what do you mean?
Education in schools and
Mentorship? What?
A lot of times it's stuff. It's not just it's people think of it too complicated or they're too far out and they can't connect themselves with the dots. The beautiful thing about flight test and the FTCA is we start relational. We start what everyone can connect with and kind of identify with, and then we build on that. So we participate in monthly roundtables with the FAA so that they can hear our feedback. So basically, we can try to shape that. So yeah, it's not we got to react thing. It is a weekly, monthly, daily thing that we work on. And unfortunate, we find sometimes they move really fast without purpose, and sometimes they take real long without purpose. And it's kind of frustrating, but it doesn't mean that the resolve is any different. So yeah, we work hard. What we want to avoid people seeing the FTCA is we're not just going to go to bat to defend the hobby. We want to grow the hobby.
Yes.
The hobby isn't going to be hard to defend if we grow it to the point where it is an impact that can't be done without. And I believe that's what it can be.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, another question?
Will FTCA have guidelines and support for groups that fly out of public parks or mostly private flying fields? And what are the challenges with flying on public property in a safe and proper way?
Okay, so yeah, that's a multifaceted question, but let's go with the first thing. Part of the requirements for a CBO is to have safety guidelines, and on the launch on you can actually go to our website right now, but on the launch on July 1st, you'll be able to go on there and you'll be able to see the safety guidelines. So when remote ID comes out, and they're talking about remote ID September of 22, that it's supposed to come out and everything. When it comes out, that's going to be part of the requirement to fly anywhere. We are talking and trying to form what's called a FRIA, FAA recognized identification area. So in that FRIA, what that FRIA consists of is someone who is a member of a CBO that's following the safety guidelines, that's operating inside a certain location. Now, when it comes outside of that, then the individual is going to have to be responsible for their own remote ID, but they're still going to have to fly under safety guidelines.
So with our community, most of us are building simple foam board airplanes. We don't want to put more than $5 into an airplane. The idea of having to put beacon technology and broadcast technology is not really a practical thing for most people. With the FTCA, what we want to do is we want to be able to have people establish. You could establish a free in your backyard, by the way. We want to get people equip them to be able to become that. So right now, you've got to fly under safety guidelines, and the FAA is saying pick one that you like. You can pick the AMAs, you can pick the FTCAs, you can pick the one. I'm going to forget their number, but there's one listed right on the FAA website that you can pick. The nice thing is, based on how you like to fly, different safety guidelines have different leniencies one way or another. What we worked really hard to do was to have a set of safety guidelines, and we've had these for over 2 years that are very reasonable, that are easy to follow, and that also will allow our community to have as much fun and flexibility as possible. So we've included things, FPVs included, even flight over people has some stipulations where we can, loosen that up a little bit. So it's reasonable, it's safe, it's able to be followed, and it's just kind of a best practice thing, keeping in mind with what the FAA is requiring. So with that said, we want to make sure we ramp up so when we can officially help people establish FRIAs, we want to see FRIAs all over the country. We want to see people not have to put all this crazy technology in the back of their in their airplane, and we want to be able to see the hobby grow freely. Also, think about this for parks, for schools, for those
It's like
places.
lightning bug in there.
We can help them become FRIAs as well. Yeah, I love it. There's night flyers going on behind us. I hope that answers your question. Dig deeper if we didn't connect on that one.
Yeah.
That's multifaceted for sure.
Completely different topic.
Okay.
Did Edgewater ever install large EDF or turbine-friendly paved runways?
As we grow, I hope so. Yeah. Right now we're only using 40 acres. That's 129 acres. Paved runways. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
But as Edgewater's activity continues to grow, we'll continue to grow through the grounds and stuff. Right now, part of it's still golf because we don't need it, and we shut down the whole course when we do, and then we go right back to golfing and stuff. And so yeah, maybe someday. There's definitely room for it. We just got to have the activity and the mandate for it.
Yep. Next.
How does one set up their flying field that is currently AMA to also recognize the FT version? And will FT have a membership with insurance like the AMA?
Great question.
Yeah. Let me start that. So I thought it crashed. Sorry. To say
You can tell we're in the hobby. We're like
Right. So the plan is to be able to kind of complement one another. I mean, what we're not trying to do, we're not trying to go out and just dominate the field and everybody's got to be FTCA. If we can work with the AMA, fine, let's work with the AMA, because I think that we're different than the AMA, and we provide different things what the AMA provides. When it comes down to the flying field and everything, and the FRIA, which we were talking about, I think that a lot of the safety guidelines are probably going to overlap from AMA to FTCA, because what we're trying to do is we're all meeting the FAA regulations and their guidelines. So I think that there's going to be a lot of overlap, and will there be like dual fields where it's AMA and FTCA? We're not going to have any problem with that.
Yeah.
Now we don't know how the other side's will react or whatever. So
yeah, it really is a dovetail. What I've seen is the amazing history with the AMA for the last 80 plus years has been a lot of competition-based activities. Mm-hmm. They have F3K, they have IMAC, they have all these different amazing activities. It celebrates the best of the best. It gives people the opportunity to compete and be recognized for their excellence. What I want to see and what we want to see for the FTCA is a different shift on this. We don't want to reward and recognize people based on their excellence on how good of a pilot they are. We want to reward and recognize people on how they serve other people. Mm-hmm. So in the case is when there is a person, this is going to tie directly into our perks with the FTCA. When we see a flying group out in Massachusetts doing these amazing build nights, what we're going to do as the FTCA is we're going to say, look at this amazing group in Massachusetts. They're awesome. Let's send them a whole bunch of kits and equip them even more. Mm-hmm. We're going to look at another school that's trying to get started with STEM, and we're going to say, wow, they're doing a really great job. They're really active, and there's so many FTCA community members helping the school out. Let's go ahead and set them up with the equipment they have to really be an amazing STEM program and an amazing flying group. We want to be able to recognize individuals and groups and then feed those groups and reward those groups with different perks. And that even as we grow, that's going to be one of the biggest things is people aren't recognized for winning a competition. They're recognized for how many people they bring in the hobby. They're recognized. We're doing this outside.
Yep.
I'm rambling. I'm really excited about this because flight test, the biggest winner and the biggest leader in any group is the biggest servant. And Dave, you're a testimony to that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's take another question or two, depending upon what it is, and then we're gonna have to wrap this up because I don't know if my phone's gonna die or not. And we've been doing this for some time.
This is not an actual question from here, but a question from me. Hey, are you ever gonna have a hobby shop at Edgewater?
Oh, hey. So the question is, are we ever going to have a hobby shop at Edgewater? Which is amazing because it's in the notes that we wanted to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, a
love
couple
you,
weeks
Jared.
ago, I'm getting thumbs up from the crowd back here. A couple weeks ago, a hobby shop was opened up in the clubhouse at Edgewater, and tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm affectionately calling this a fast serve hobby shop. We take about the top maybe 50% of the items that are most commonly needed for getting in the hobby, for fixing a broken airplane, things like that. We took our community area in the back wall and we turned it into a hobby shop. So people can come here and they can, get what they need. If it's not there, we can find a way to bring it from our manufacturing building down to them. But it's been a tremendous success. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's worked out really well.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than going out to go flying and right off the bat you break your prop or something. You don't have any spares. Now you can just go inside, grab one. You're all set.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Thursday nights. Oh, I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
Thursday nights we teach people how to fly, and it's really exciting because we'll finish teaching them how to fly, and they're like, "Okay, I know exactly what I want to get. I know exactly what I want to do." If any of you guys can relate back to your first choice to get in the hobby, the nerves of am I getting the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Is this going to be a good experience? We can say, you want to try to fly a little freighter? Here you go. Or we can say, here's a simple Scout, or here's a Cub. And we can take away that nervousness so there's nothing but excitement. As this grows and as this proof of concept works, our goal is to actually build a full-blown hobby shop on the grounds with surface, air, helis, and surface, air, helis, and what's the other one?
Water.
Oh, we got to get a lake for that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, quads.
Quads, that's
Oh my
good.
gosh, yeah. Multi-rotors.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole vision for what I affectionately call FT Hobbies, which I'd love to see someday be a franchise. So people don't just go there to buy and leave, but they go there to have an experience.
Two quick things. A gentleman's asking, are we going to be able to rent OneWheels at Edgewater?
Rent OneWheels at Edgewater. Quick answer: you can come and test them. Renting is in the
works.
In the works.
Yeah.
You can purchase one.
So I don't know
If you're over 40, make sure you get the disclaiper because he
Yeah.
didn't give me the disclaimer, and I am still hurting.
Yeah, broken hips all the way around.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, my wife and I actually distribute OneWheels now from Edgewater. So if you want to support Edgewater, and you also on a Thursday night when it's good weather, we have Noah out here, and we put a helmet on you. We of course have you sign the waiver, but we teach you how to ride a OneWheel as well as teach you how to get in the hobby. So it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
OneWheels, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but my OneWheel just kicked over 500 miles, and it's is it 7 years old?
Yeah.
So they are just a fantastic way to have fun as a family, from young to old. I go a lot slower than my kids do. I think
I learned that you don't. So I was trying to play tag with my 13-year-old son, and I lost
yeah,
in a big way.
the ground one.
The ground
To
one.
clarify too, if you are too intimidated by or just not able to, we do rent golf carts too.
You can go with the 4 wheels. All right. What?
Here's a real quick recommendation from Buddy RC. Wink, wink.
Oh,
He
my.
votes for an FT staff combat at Flight Fest this year.
Oh, that could
FT
be a lot of
staff
fun.
combat.
That would be a lot of fun. Is there
Oh,
time? There's time to work that in. You're the director. You can make it happen.
I can. Yeah. I can. Yeah. So I would have to direct it. I'm not going to participate in it.
You got.
No, I am technically not on FT staff. I am FTCA. So TJ, your big mouth,
He's instigating.
he is instigating. He's like poking the bear, poke the bear.
He's been a good heckler.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we may be able to do something.
So why don't we tell them what's going on tomorrow real quick?
Yes, we'll finish with that. And if, I'm sorry if we didn't get to your questions. We will do this again, and when we do, we'll have microphones. It'll be a lot better production.
Actually, they won't need microphones. I'll have a microphone.
We'll have to quiet down our little friends over here.
Yeah,
too.
we might have frog legs before then. That's not probably people are gonna like not
You'll
like
be
that.
okay. You'll
be all
So tomorrow is Saturday, June 26th, and what we are doing is a Plane Crazy Build Day. Now, a Plane Crazy Build Day is nothing that we came up with. It's something that John Overstreet, our flight test Midwest guy.
Yes.
Is in, or can be it can be contributed to him, but what it is we're gonna have a bunch of kids come in, or young adults, bunch of people come in. We're gonna build these Chuck gliders, and then somebody broke out a legacy and was towing up these gliders earlier and launching them across the golf course.
So we're actually
Models are we building tomorrow?
we're going to be building the Easy Plank and the Easy Venture.
Easy Plank and the Easy
Yep.
Venture.
So, and everyone can build as many as they want. We have plenty of them and stuff. We kept them to those because we basically designed a little release mechanism for the models. Well, we're kind of taking a little different turn with what John is doing is we're going to actually pull them up to altitude and drop them off. And then we're also going to have active training for kids and adults to be able to learn how to fly.
They also have the option of buying the 2-channel
Yeah.
setup and making
At the
them
hobby
actually
shop.
radio
Hobby
controlled
shop.
and,
Yeah.
and learning how to do RC at the same time if they'd like.
So,
Yep.
so yeah, the two that we're giving them, the Easy Plank is actually part of our Easy 3 series, and they can fly as Chuck Glider. And to Dave's point, yes,
Awesome.
we'll even have an Easy Plank for them to try before they even want to buy it. So we want, again, to get people into the hobby. That Plane Crazy build experience is one of those tools that the FTCA is going to be funding, supporting, shipping all around the country to different flying groups to be able to have that event because it changes lives. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You think about the kids' experience, think about this. How many parents don't know how to connect with their kids? And this is one of the things that we're trying to do is just literally bring the kids in, but then show the parents what a great experience it is and how they can take that home with them. And John has just done an amazing job with the Plane Crazy build experience. It's easy to do. It's crazy fun. It can be customized really easy for clubs, for churches, for schools, for social groups, things
Any
like that.
kind of organization,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's tomorrow between 12 and 6 o'clock. You can come anytime during there. And if you don't want to come build, you want to come help, fine, come help. If you just want to come hang out,
Yeah.
come hang out. It'll be a great time.
Bring your models and fly too. It's
Yeah.
all free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a
So-
lot of nice people out here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nice people out here. So for that, thanks for sticking in there, hanging in there with us. Next time when we do this, it will definitely be a little bit higher production. But hey, everybody's got to start somewhere. So that's my final word. Do you have any final words?
Keep tuned. We have podcasts coming. We have a
Podcasts
lot
are
of
gonna be
really
awesome.
good things coming. We're
Yep.
bringing back, and can't wait to share more of the heart of what's coming in the future. And I'm happy to actually just be sitting across from Dave.
Yeah, yeah.
So thanks for making time.
Thank
brother.
you.
Speaking of Dave, he's gonna be drag racing the bus sometime, so we'll see how that goes. So hey, until next time, thank you and have a blessed night.
Love you guys.
Night, guys.